WEFUNK. We funk.
We've had our guest on before as our Nick Cage expert, and now this time we're bringing him on as our Charlize Theron expert. He's been on the show a couple times now. Welcome back to, I guess, first time though on Netflix and chat. So welcome to the show, Mike Manzi.
Thanks for having me back.
Aboard.
Yeah, always great to see you guys. Am I coming through? Is this good? I'm not used to Zoom. I hope we're good.
Yeah, you sound all right. You sound all right. If we can take a minute to pause. It's not like Devin's screen never froze up in the middle of a Netflix and chat episode. So it's but like you said, though, we're excited.
I couldn't be happier to be chatting.
There we go. That's the attitude. But yeah, like you said, though, we're excited to get you on a Netflix and chat. As I guess we had you on the 5-year anniversary special where we had all the guests, and we were teasing potentially a Nick Cage, a Netflix Tiger King whole rumor, and maybe we'll get into Nick Cage later, I guess. But we were talking about how we'd love to get you on, and it was only a matter of time before there was a Netflix and Cage Club crossover here.
Yeah, we've done enough actors over at the Cage Club Network. At this point, we are bound to cross over sooner or later.
And I guess that'll give us a good opportunity real quick to give just a shout-out and a plug to Man's whole podcast network and operations. I guess really the easiest way to just check it out is cageclub.me, I would say. Yeah. And you're on all of the socials, correct? All your medias. Your SoundClouds. Is there any one particular you want to tell anybody about, or?
Well, I think I really like Spotify because you could just kind of type my name in, and then every single show that I've ever appeared on will just pop up there.
Nice. I don't know if my phone has that much information left on it to see every podcast. My phone might explode.
That's a great call, Devin, because
I've got 5 years of Geeked Up on my phone, clogging my
and there's that too. But I guess that is a good point for both of you, because 5 years of Geeked Up, but as well as a whole lot of podcasts from Man's. And again, he's part of the whole network now at cageclub.me that has other podcasts. The Foodies Films podcast is a cool one. There's X's for Pod, X-Men podcast, that's a cool one. But then Mance himself is the host for a whole number of kind of like serial watch podcasts, where I guess, of course, all started with Cage. Nick Cage, but then it's went to Keanu. You've recently, on the 5-year anniversary, you were telling us about the Tom Tom Club with Hanks and Cruz. You've done the monkeying around with Mans, as I'm hoping you called it.
Wait, what? Monkeys? That was Monkey Club, but that wasn't on that. But that's a great show.
I see. Wasn't Monkey Club where you serial watched monkey movies, though? Am I wrong?
No, that is a show on the network, but I'm only a guest on the Planet of the Apes episode.
Okay, I see. That wasn't one of the ones that you hosted regularly. Okay, I gotcha.
You should have been on the Mighty Joe Young episode, shouldn't you have?
Unfortunately,
what are the producers of that one thinking? I mean, come on, easy layup there.
They're on indefinite hiatus, unfortunately, but I'd love to talk Kong Skull Island someday, somewhere, somehow.
We're always here for you, buddy. If you ever want to host a Kong Skull Island one, we could definitely. But I guess so with all of that, though, and then as we mentioned, in addition to all of them except the monkey ones and a whole lot more, but you have as well done the Charlize Theron. What was that one called? Chrlize Club or?
So, yeah, there's kind of an interesting story behind that. It's called Watch the Theron because we are dumb and mispronounced her last name for, like, our entire lives. So we figured out until, like, right after we launched the show and had the artwork and everything ready to go.
What did you think it is? Am I wrong? Is it Theron, or were you pronouncing it?
Well, it's Theron. It's Charlize Theron.
Okay,
so we thought it was Charlize Theron. And, like, I thought it was Charlize Theron my entire life, pretty much, because I'm a dum-dum.
Yeah, I mean, this is mind-blowing to me right now.
Yeah, don't call yourself a dum-dum, because that makes me and Devin dum-dums. And we've been saying, I think Devin called her Charlie earlier, by the way. I mean, it was...
we're cool like that.
But we decided, like, if nothing, we're committed. So we stuck with the name. We thought it was just funny just to keep the name anyway, go with it. And it was kind of a last-minute idea. We were going to do a Ben Affleck podcast.
Way better choice to do, Charlize.
Yeah, there was some chatter in the media about him at the time, so we just like quickly transitioned over to the Charlize stuff, and it worked out really well. I think, yeah, she's got a very interesting career.
Good call. There's no video of Charlize Theron grabbing some old MTV VJ's tit from Kenya.
Precisely.
And you don't have to watch 85 movies that take place in Boston either. Is a good.
Yeah, that too.
But I guess so. As our Charlize expert, as we like to do on the show, we often give you quick little IMDb rundowns of the peeps, and I've prepared a little bit of a Charlize list, not quite as comprehensive as of course our Sandler or Spade, where I'm giving you every single one, but really I guess the big highlights of Charlize I'll maybe run through and maybe give us your thoughts real quick on the movies or any particular ones, but I guess the first real big block, smash for her that she was in was Devil's Advocate, and then
with Keanu.
Yeah. Now, when you did that, I guess I'm going to jump in for your show. Did you watch the movie twice? Did you do it once for the Keanu Club and once for the Throne? Now,
and there was even talk of one time doing Pacino, and we're like, we're just gonna watch that movie for every fucking actor.
I mean, it's a good movie anyway.
But when you do it for, I guess, each different actor, though, do you like kind of focus more on like when you watch like the Charlize Theron one, then you're focusing more, but as a Charlize Theron movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like for something like Sweet November, which they're also in together, which is like this mental romantic comedy, like it's two completely different movies depending on who you're focusing on character-wise. Like if you're just following one of those people, like it's nuts. So that was an interesting thing that came along doing having to like figure out a way to review the same movie twice.
Is there a movie that you have had to watch 3 times in your various podcast crossovers? And I'm sure that's come up with more than just Charlize Theron and Keanu. I'm sure you've had other crossovers with movies. But is there a movie that you've had to watch a third time between all of your various collabs?
I don't believe we have. No, I don't think it's ever gotten to that level.
It will, though. I mean, because you've got people that have,
That's the whole thesis right there, right?
I mean, another one right there, like where it was another one for her pretty early, but had a million big names in it. But Legend of Bagger Vance had a lot of people that could do serial watch podcasts on. You know what I mean? Like,
is that the Matt Damon one or the?
That was the golf one, with Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Exactly,
right. Yeah.
But I'd say her first real lead character breakout, I'd say, would be The Italian Job in 2003, and then in the same year was The Monster, which was of course her critical acclaim, Oscar. I think she won the Oscar for that, right? Or at least nominated.
Yeah.
But did she win?
Didn't she win for that? I'm terrible at my job, but
I'm pretty sure she did win for that. But it was like an absolute critical smash. And then in 2004, kind of the same story with Aeon Flux and North Country. Which was not related to the Dylan, the whole Dylan thing, much to my. But that was the same thing where in the year it was like a blockbuster as well as another. I think for North Country she was nominated, but that was another year where it was like a critical acclaim as well as a high budget, smash.
Yeah, it's interesting how she's been able to sort of bounce between doing sort of these heavy dramas like North Country or something like In the Valley of Ella with Tommy Lee Jones is a really great sort of crime procedural. And then she'll go and do, like Fury Road or you mentioned The Italian Job.
I'm getting there. I'm getting to Fury Road. Spoiler alert.
Not just, but on the subject of cars, she ends up in the Fast and Furious franchise. And
that's true too, yes.
It's all she's all over the map, and it's really great.
I guess just to this point on the list, though, before, I guess now at this point she's like a real star Hollywood, headliner. Do you have like a fave of that flock of movies there? That portion of her career?
Because I feel like if I can butt in real fast too, I feel like Liam's missing out on a bunch of good ones, like Reindeer Games.
I think he's
Reindeer Games is definitely a good one. I did forget that. I was with Affleck, actually, right? Mm-hmm. See, I'm not an Affleck guy.
Valley was like one of her first ones, and that movie's
which one?
Bonkers. 2 Days in the Valley.
See, I didn't know that one, and I didn't know the other one that you just mentioned with Tommy Lee. So
So there's like two movies that I say people really need to watch that I don't feel like anyone saw that we kind of discovered doing the show. And the first one is this movie from 2000 called The Yards. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a James Gray movie. James Gray just did Ad Astra. He's done The Lost City of the Dead. Like the guy's an amazing filmmaker. So it's Charlize, Mark Wahlberg, and Joaquin Phoenix. And it's like the young Godfather. Like it's amazing. I really like that movie a lot.
That was called The
Highly
Yard?
recommend. The Yards. Yeah, as in like the train yards.
Okay, so
and then the other one is this comedy she fucking did. She did this thing called Waking Up with Reno. It's her, Patrick Swayze, Natasha Richardson, and Billy Bob Thornton on a road trip together. And it's just like this sexually charged, like, four-way fiasco. Like, at first I hated it, and then I loved it. So, like, those are two during this period I think that people need to check.
Okay, very interesting. I guess one thing as well that I did kind of notice about her for early in her career, did she, for a South African, native or whatnot, did she do a lot of, like, did she do anything before, like, big stuff in the States? Because I think her first IMDb credit was, Children of the Corn or something that I was familiar with, but it was like Devil's Advocate was pretty early on into her reign, so. Yeah,
I think, from what I understand, she was a model. Like she was from a very young age as well, like a teen model even, and kind of had this whole career before becoming an actress. And I think Waking Up in Reno was the first speaking role. She was in Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest, another great movie. Check it out. But that that performance, I think people were like, who the fuck is this person? Like she was really fresh on the scene at that point. And from the beginning, we noticed that if there was just like, we need someone to be the wife or we need someone to be the young girlfriend, from that point on, it was kind of her in all the high-profile role movies.
Yeah, you're right. She's definitely the girlfriend in like That Thing You Do.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
God's girlfriend.
So she was started popping up in like all these very popular movies early on.
Yep. All right, cool.
Yeah,
so then I guess now as like a big, a leading lady, The Road, Prometheus, Fury Road.
Hancock. Hancock's kind of relevant to tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Those and then I guess that was kind of, then she took a hiatus at some point, but and then kind of in more recent years, and again, Devin, hop in if I'm missing any big ones, because then in recent years we've got Atomic Blonde, which was another action lead. There was the Netflix Sandler movie that we missed, but Murder Mystery that she was in.
She was in that? Is she credited? Because I missed that too.
Oh, okay, might have just been a credit or something, because she was on that was on the list, and I was me and Devin were talking about how we hadn't watched that Sandler one. But there was Gringo, that weed pill movie.
Oh yeah, Long Shot with Seth Rogen recently.
Long Shot.
She's done a lot more like that dramatic, like Tully and Bombshell. Like it feels like after Fury Road, she might have wanted to take a rest and stuff, and then now it seems like she's back into the action.
Great flick, and I thought you might have mentioned it in your like must-watch Charlize Theron's, but like Young Adult is outstanding killer movie. Pat Oswalt is killer in it too. But it's one of those movies, I forget, I was tricked into watching it and then came away and I was like, man, I really like that flick.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's that one all about?
She goes back to, it's like a high school reunion flick, kind of. Well, she goes back to her hometown after being a successful author and realizes she's still like a horrible person to everybody.
For sure.
But it's good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What was that one called? Because I'm writing these down.
Adult.
I've got a lot of time on my hands. So. What was that?
And then Sully was also written by, who's that? I always forget the screenwriter. But same screenwriter.
Which one, Tully?
Who wrote like Juno and
I see.
Terra.
Yeah.
Tully was another like one that got a lot of critical success as well. I didn't see that one, but.
And I can't believe none of us are mentioning Mad Max, Fury Road.
No, I mentioned Fury Road. That was with Prometheus. That was right at the same time with like, because Prometheus was the Alien reboot, right? Where it was like she was in the same year she was in, or in a couple years she was in Prometheus and the Mad Max, franchise.
And Mad Max, honestly, I would say she is the star of that movie. Like, it's called Mad Max, but stupid, what's his face, Tom Hardy doesn't have a line to like an hour and a half into the film, and goes Liam, when I was talking about my overrated podcast, Tom Hardy's definitely
okay. I say the overrated list.
Well, it's funny how like the character Max Rockatansky, if you want his full name,
is that Mad Max's? No wonder why he goes by Mad Max. Although the Rockatowski, he's got a good
Rockatansky, like rock that tan, man. So he barely talks about his every movie he's in. He hardly talks at all.
Yeah, Gibson never saw.
No, that's for sure. Road Warrior, I think it's like the movie goes like 17, 18 minutes in before there's any spoken dialogue.
Yeah, and
I
think
they're growling. There's some big goof being like, "Arr," but
yeah,
as far as dialogue goes, there's like not a lot.
There's lots of
20 minutes or something into the film. It's wild.
So I think they're turning that franchise into the Furioso franchise, but they're gonna do like a prequel now. So I don't think she's gonna play Furioso again, at least not for now, which is
okay. Interesting. Yeah,
but that is definitely like one of my favorite movies, like favorite franchises. Like I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess in more recent years as well, one of the ones we haven't mentioned, and I think it's just from last year, and a real star-studded cast. I did not, however, see Bombshell, either one of you guys. That was with Nicole Kidman, right? And but Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Charlize was playing Megyn Kelly in that one too. Which is
the big Fox News. You know, sexual abuse scandal and everything. I saw it in theaters, but I have to tell you,
that's a big screen. That's an opening night IMAX.
No, but
3D.
It was a double featured. It was a double feature day. It was the last double feature I've been to since the movie's closed. But I had just seen Cats.
Oh, wow.
So I go from Cats to Bombshell, and I'm still in like PTSD mode. I'm still shaking a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's gonna take a couple months of a quarantine to get over the Cats Bombshell. Now, how was it? Was it Oscar bait here? Are we? I think she actually was her Oscar term last year. Did she? She was nominated last year, I think, for Bombshell actually. But it was a good one, or did she dominate the screen compared to Kidman and Margot Robbie?
I thought it was a good movie. I think that's the last movie we actually reviewed on our program. We have to play catch up a little with this movie and Addams Family, but I think her performance is amazing. It's you know, it's like this office procedural. It's a really strange sort of behind-the-scenes kind of like reporter movie. I don't really know how to classify it. It reminds me a little bit of like the anti All the President's Men in a lot of ways, or something, or like Not the Post. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
One of those kinds of things. Like maybe more like Network.
Yeah,
or
I was going to say
that.
a little.
I mean, to me, it's got John Lithgow playing a scumbag. So I'm in.
He is lecherous. Yeah.
WEFUNK. We funk.